It's interesting doing a live set and talking at the same time. I've never had to do that.
I imagine
before.
you absolutely love it.
I really love it. It's so not annoying. Trying to concentrate on what's next and then being asked a stupid fucking question by the compere. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Nothing compares.
Good call.
It's Coburg of late.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us in the garage tonight. He is a legendary live techno producer and performer, from touring in the big day out to playing Wembley Arena and wowing 12,000 people at ADE. He's the head of iconic global imprint Awesome Soundwave, releasing a slew of groundbreaking live techno with his close friend and peer, Mr. Carl Cox. Please welcome all the way from Mentone via Ireland, Chris Coe.
Doof, doof, doof in the air tonight. House music from home never felt so right. Now your neighbors awake in the 3058. It's Coburg of late.
Hi.
Hey Chris, nice to have you here.
Thank you. I'm in character because we're on a talk show in front of a lot of people.
And you'll be sustaining the character for the next 60 minutes, is that right?
Correct.
What is the character?
I haven't quite figured that bit out yet.
I don't think our viewers are...
Okay, I'll be natural.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, welcome. And actually, can I say, you look way better in the lights. We're just going to get you right up here.
Let me move up to the lights.
Beautiful. Now, Chris, you... what a... This is how you know he's a good person, or it's how he compensates for being a bad person.
Well, you see, I'm actually a cunt. But I genuinely love trees.
Cunts can love trees too, guys.
Cunts are good.
He's living proof.
Yeah. I do love trees, and please carry on.
And I love cunts, so I think we're a great team.
I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, that's why I got you here.
Thank you.
So, Chris, you've just returned from Europe, and you've played some incredible string of shows, and if you don't mind, I'm going to try and rattle them off. You had a 2-month residency in Ibiza. That's a thumb up. Well, I'm going to put a sound effect in there every time we get it right. 2-month residency in Ibiza. You did a legendary 6-hour back-to-back with Carl Cox in Bilbao, Spain.
Amazing.
And it was amazing, or it's amazing that I know that?
No, amazing.
Okay.
It was both, actually.
Oh, thank you. That's the equivalent of a golden tick sound.
Golden kick.
Yeah, that's good.
Come on.
Fuck, that's good. And do you know the best part of that is that happened live on camera right now.
I made it up.
He's funny. He's a funny guy.
Carry on.
A funny cunt, if you would.
Next show.
Next show, you also, as I mentioned, you played at Wembley Arena.
Mind blowing. Seriously, that was thanks to Uncle Carl. I mean, it was his headline show, and few lucky artists got to support him on that. And of course, I helped him arrange it and all that stuff.
You put it together?
I didn't put it together. I worked with the production team on it, but it was promoters in the UK who put it together. It was amazing. It was amazing. But I consulted with the Function One guys. In fact, they rang me going, Chris, we got this idea about the system that we want to do. And I'm like, mate, you're Tony Edwards. You're the guy who invented Function One. I'm delighted that you're talking to me about it. But to be honest, anything you say, it's just yes. And he was like, no, but I want to run it by you guys because it's never been done before. We want to build a stack of subs, 8 meters high, 24 24s in a tower.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
I said, exactly that. Tony, you're the legend, you know. He said, I know, but it's uncharted territory. No one's ever done it before like this, because normally they have the subs in the front, you know.
Can we give a little bit of context on what Function One is?
Function One is a famous sound system designed by Tony Edwards, and they've been running many years, and they're very famous in the dance world for being one of the best.
If you see, and it's quite an iconic look as well.
The purple speakers.
That's right, and it's got that kind of triangular part in the middle. I think if you see them at a festival or at a concert, you know you're in good hands.
Basically, if someone knows how to use it. And Tony, who invented it,
Tony,
he should know how to use it. He is also the guy who invented the turbo sound system for Pink Floyd. So I have a lot of respect. Anyway, they built a stack of subs in a tower behind the stage. And the theory is, mathematically speaking, that if you have a big enough waveform, and it's allowed to be that big waveform, you stop diffraction. So you stop losing sub out into the roof.
Wow.
And again, that's him talking. I really don't know what he's saying. But the whole point is that the bottom end, the sound of the bass, is to be consistent around an arena. And normally that arena...
And that's the big waveform you're speaking of.
Yes, the big waveform. Bass is big. And it was amazing. It was the best sound I've ever heard in my life and ever played on
and
in
it
my
was
life.
and firstly, that's incredible. But secondly, that the best sound that you'd ever heard and played on...
In an arena.
...was custom built for your show.
Yeah, for Carl. Because...
But mainly for you. Carl would have been supporting, I imagine.
Well, Carl was happy to join us. I invited him, of course. No, it was an amazing show for him because it was his first solo show in a long time in an arena. It was amazing. It was the most amazing show I've been ever involved in. Besides all those other shows that you're about to continue listing.
I literally, we could be swapping roles. You could be the host right now.
No, carry on.
No. Well, thank you for the segue. I believe it was the most amazing show until you played your own label party at ADE to 12,000 people.
I know, it's an abstract sort of number when you look at it.
Yeah, try and count it.
And I couldn't.
We don't have time. Okay.
No, there was a lot of people there. It was nerve-wracking.
Did you overcome that throughout the course of the show?
Did I what?
Did you overcome the nerves throughout the show?
Overcome the nerves? No, I was still nervous that night at dinner after the show.
He's still nervous now.
I'm now nervous thinking about it. I'm like, but it was amazing again. It was an amazing show. It was this huge arena, another arena in Amsterdam called the Ziggo Dome. 12,000 people. I don't know what to say. It's very interesting because I was saying to Carl at the time, I was like, how do you connect with 12,000 people? You know, I'm used to playing in smaller clubs where there's people right here. And
we peek behind the curtains. What is the context that you're saying this to Carl? Is this at dinner beforehand?
No, this was afterwards, actually.
It's a little bit late, but...
We were eating some dumplings, actually, if you want to know what we were eating.
What dumplings did you order?
In the studio, just pork dumplings.
Nice.
From the Hastings dumpling shop.
You heard it here first.
Amazing dumplings, by the way. Anyway, which we could order later. Anyway, Carl and I were talking. I said, Carl, it was amazing. I was really nervous. We did a great show. Thank you so much. Thanks to ADE, thanks to Awakenings, who had faith in us. It was all live artists. I'm getting back to my point, but I'm segueing.
No, I really like this.
It's all live artists.
It's actually, my next point is related to live,
Yeah.
so you're doing my job for me once again.
No.
That's another point to Chris.
Correct. The golden kick. All live artists,
Good
no
throwback.
DJs.
We've had 2 throwbacks in 5 minutes. Well done.
I love that. That was a bass and kick sort of prelude.
It's kind of like a sidechain.
Yeah, a little bit of a side chain there for you. And sorry,
That actually sounds more like a tick.
correct. I was like a double tick.
Yeah. You can call this a nervous tick.
Anyway, I can't remember what we were talking about.
Oh
all live artists.
Oh yeah, that's right. All live artists.
All live artists playing, and that's an unusual scenario at the best of times. But in an arena with 12,000 people, it was incredible. And I was saying to Carl over our dumplings, you're used to playing to huge crowds. How do you read the crowd? How do you connect with the crowd when it's 12,000 people? I kind of found it really hard to look up and make the connection. Are they liking this? I don't know. They're like half a kilometre away. I don't really know. I know that the crowd is full, but are they actually enjoying it? Are we kind of conversing musically?
Was that your first time getting to that level where you actually having to start thinking about this kind of thing?
I guess so. I mean, I guess the thing is, 12,000 is probably the biggest crowd I've ever played to.
That was bigger than Wembley.
Wembley was about 6.5.
Wow, so you just
which I still was
casually double Wembley Stadium.
So Wembley was nerve-wracking as well, of course. But the example is that I said it to Carl. I said, "Well, how do you connect?" He goes, and this is a trade secret. You heard it here first. I look at the people on the outer rim, and if they're dancing, they're fine.
So you're just controlling the outer rim.
Basically...
Fuck
if
the
you-
dance floor. They'll
No,
be
because
right.
they're all right, because they're already committed.
Totally.
They're already in the middle of the dance floor. So they're fine. It's these people out here that you have to try and connect with and bring in. And I was like, oh my God, that is genius. Because you can actually still also see these people because they're up here. Down here, it's a mass.
Yeah, they're actually eye level.
Yeah. So I'll try that next time I'm playing in front of 12,000 people. It should be next week, really.
There's probably going to be about 5,000 people watching this.
Oh, I'm trying to see you on the outer rim.
That's an interesting point that Carl makes, and I wonder if it's purely psychological from the DJ's perspective that there's a difference between 12,000 people and a dance floor of 10 people. You know what I mean? Like, if, as you said,
Well,
that dance floor is already committed up the front, you know?
I mean, of course it's psychological.
But is it only psychological?
Well, I
I'm
don't
saying
know.
if there's 12,000 people in an arena, are they going... do you think they also share an expectation that you should be putting on a bigger and better show and they're harder to make dance? Or is it just that it's more nerve-wracking?
I think there's a bit of all of that in there.
Right.
I don't know, to be honest. I haven't asked every single one of them.
Yeah, okay. But now's your opportunity.
Well, I mean, the great thing is if they've actually made the effort to come, buy a ticket and come, and all 12,000, they're already feeling excited about it. And actually, what I've noticed about when you're playing live that with audiences, it's about connecting and making a meaningful connection. But most people want you to succeed. They don't want to see an artist fail.
Totally.
They want
It's bad for them.
Well, it's not fun
No.
for anyone. You're like, oh, that's really uncomfortable.
Okay, so there's a bit of a benefit of the doubt scenario.
We all want it to work.
An innocent until proven guilty kind of vibe.
Well, yeah, or guilty of techno.
Speaking of techno and speaking of live, we have a live techno set up right here. What's going on, Chris?
Well, this is my modular setup with a bunch of really interesting modules built in a beautiful Amalgamod case designed and created in Reservoir by Amalgamod.
Now, for those not from Melbourne, Reservoir is not actually a catchment of water, but it is indeed one suburb over that way.
Over that way.
Not yet. Yeah.
That way.
About there, approximately.
And it's an incredible case which holds a bunch of different things. Drum machines, synth stuff,
Wow.
effects, interesting knobs and buttons that make sound.
Great. Does this come with you everywhere?
Yeah, this is my main instrument.
Okay, fantastic.
And this is a sequencer device that kind of controls a lot of the devices in there.
Okay.
And this is another sequencer sampler drum machine device that is basically the kind of brains of the operation. It runs the clock and sends everything. But really, this is the main game here.
So this is the brain, that's the body.
Basically.
And maybe this is like the arm?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's more like this...
I like to imagine that the CDJ is the penis.
It's a dick, all right. Anyway, this could be the roots. This is the roots.
Okay, so we've
That's the roots.
we've switched analogies now, but we know that he loves trees.
Yeah, I'm going back to the trees.
Okay.
This is possibly the roots and the trunk, and this is all the arms and the leaves and the flowers and everything else.
Yeah,
The
not to fuck with your
branches.
analogy too much, but if that was the brain, I'm going to call that the canopy.
Oh.
And then maybe that's your brain. That's your.
But the brain of the tree is in the roots.
Okay, now that is spoken like a man that truly loves trees.
I think so, anyway. But correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
Let's
I think you
write
sound
in, folks. Write in.
You sound. I just won't give the address, but here it is right here.
Okay. Oh, awkward silence.
No, let's just hold it for a bit then.
Are you ready for techno?
Yeah, can you give it to us?
Yeah, let's go.
Guys, we have got Christopher Coe, all the way from Mentone via Ireland with us today. It's an absolute honour. Please take it away.
Thank you. I'll just... 126.1.
Tell me on the mic.
So, I'm playing at a tempo of 126.1. And I might take the hi-hat off so that we can start with a nice little sense of rhythm. Do you need any further explanation here about things?
I'm pretty interested to know if this would be your normal approach, because I imagine that if you're playing these larger shows, would you be mixing out of the act before, or would you be starting from scratch like this?
They start from scratch, actually. The difference between live artists and DJs, of course, is that you kind of start from scratch because your sets, all of your sets are quite different, but I still believe in the continuity of the party.
Sure.
So you try and kind of build from what's gone before into what's coming after in a way. But today it's something special because this is the first time I've played in public with this kind of new setup.
Really?
And it's not including my laptop and push controller.
How does that affect what is coming out of the speakers?
Well, when I use the laptop with Ableton and the push controller, I kind of tend to use that for bigger shows because I can get a lot more dynamics and a lot more samples, a lot more big kicks happening. But today, this is a more of an experimental, improvised set.
Cool. So what we're about to hear, firstly, because it's live, it's never been heard before. But
Yes.
Secondly, because it's all effectively, it's a pretty new setup for you, at least
Yeah.
in this configuration.
Correct.
You're also unaware of what's about to eventuate.
I have no idea.
Well, bit of magic here with Christopher Coe.
Do you like the way I'm holding the microphone, by the way?
Yeah, it's like you're eating a hot dog. Just don't chip your teeth.
Okay, I'm going to put it down.
I want to see where you can take it from this beautiful rhythmic intro.
Well, okay, let's see. I have no idea either.
Chris, can I ask where that sound is coming from? Where that kind of... Oh, yeah? Talk to us. What's going on?
So, I think it's turning into a modular tutorial. This is another oscillator that I'm running with this little sequencer here.
And we've got an overhead, so we should be able to capture most of it.
So, you know,
I know.
that's where that's coming from.
Okay, fantastic. I'm getting Mulder and Scully vibes. All about that low end. There's that big waveform you speak of. Chris, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
You've just had such a great taste of the international scene, which, let's be honest, a lot of it exists in Europe.
Yes, it's international.
I mean, of the global techno scene, such a significant slice of that pie is there. In this market that's so saturated by DJs, what's the appetite now for live performers?
I think actually that people are... I think they want it more. I think that people are realizing that there's more excitement, danger and weird energy in a live show. And, you know, I mean, of course I'm biased because I play live, but I do think that when people... Well, number one, they don't necessarily have to realize that it's live. The music has to be good. Doesn't matter what you do, whether you DJ, play live. The party is what matters. But on top of that, when they feel like something's different and it's weird and interesting, and then they find out that you're playing live, it's a added extra bit of excitement. And I remember...
It's like an uncertainty, which is, I imagine, quite exciting.
Yeah, and I think that people pick up on that. Whether they know you're playing live or not, I think they pick up on some sort of energy that's, as you say, exciting. And there's also a danger because the artist, for example, what I'm doing, what Honey Smack does, what a lot of people do, is improvising. So I don't know how it's going to go. It could completely and royally fuck up. And that adds the excitement. And I think that brings energy on the dance floor. And I think it also kind of harkens back a bit to, you know, the old days of raves when we didn't really know what was going to be played next because we didn't even know what the music was called. So, I mean, there's an element of nostalgia.
You mean like what the genre was called even?
Didn't really know.
You were right on the precipice.
Basically. But that doesn't matter. The point is that, you know, people today who are out partying, younger people, they feel something different. I remember in Ibiza we were doing a show and a young friend of mine, she must have been in her early 20s, she's gone, "This music is amazing. What is it? What are these tracks? What are the tracks?" I'm like, he's making it up right now as we speak.
Who was playing?
Mark Rumboy.
Ah, fantastic.
A legend.
And a good mate of yours.
And a good mate. And he's an amazing live artist. And she was totally blown away by that.
Because there's no tracks.
Yeah, there's
it's
no
not a
track.
track.
It's just made up.
Although I guess it becomes a track in retrospect, if you were to capture
Basically,
it.
if you were to capture it, yes. But oftentimes we don't record our live sets because, you know, you're too busy setting up and you forget.
Not unlike today.
No, of course, it's being recorded. Every single little moment. Can I continue?
Please.
Okay. Are you going to play or what?
Is now a good time?
Anytime you like, just bring it in.
Let's give it a go. We're going to attempt some back-to-backing on the rudimentary CDJ 3000 compared to what we've got going on over here. I apologise in advance for disrupting the flow. Now, just so I'm clear on this, we've got a kick drum coming through channel 1. We have Channel 3 is your hi-hat and stuff. And channel 2 is the big boy. Okay. Go, we're going to try mixing out 3 tracks and mixing in 1. Christopher Coe on Coburg Up Late. Christopher Coburg Up Late. Fuck, I should have said that in your intro. I said Christopher Coburg Up Late. That was a real smile, I got him. I did.
I can still mix.
Yeah, you can, and you can, and you could do something that our dear friend David didn't do, which was mix out of one of my tunes. So I'm very, very impressed. I wasn't even sure if it was possible, to be honest.
I don't know.
amazingly simple creatures. It's incredible what a kick drum or a hi-hat can do to someone's like body chemistry.
It's the rhythm of life, baby.
I actually think there is something to do with 125 beats per minute and the rhythm of life.
Is there?
Yeah. There's something that it works very closely with like the human heartbeat, during intercourse or something.
Is there?
Yeah, I mean, again, please don't Google this.
Do Google it and write in.
No, this is gospel and don't write in.
Oh, don't write in.
Yeah, I'll put.
Can you order me a pizza while you're at it?
If you don't know what to do, I've got a question for you. Hey,
Yes.
I was about to say pick up the mic, but you have this is the world's worst segue. You have an EP called Pick Up the Phone.
Oh, that's a long old tune.
Yeah, but it's got quite a special story.
Oh.
And I don't want to give too much away. I wanted to ask you a little bit about this EP that you released.
Well, I need to go ambient for that.
Like a true artist.
Yeah.
It's all about context.
It's about context. Right?
Correct. The story you're about to hear, there's been custom ambience created for it.
Yeah, let me just...
It's nice. I see you've rolled off the top end so we can talk over the top.
Yeah, you see? That's much nicer now.
Oh, wow. It's almost like you're an audio professional.
It's interesting doing a live set and talking at the same time. I never had to do that.
I imagine
before.
you absolutely love it.
I really love it. It's so not annoying. Trying to concentrate on what's next and then being asked a stupid fucking question by the compere. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Nothing compares.
Good call. Anyway, what's this? Oh yeah, the story.
You want to tell me about Pick Up the Phone?
Okay, so there's an EP that I released in collaboration with a bunch of artists from my hometown in Westport who are intellectually disabled artists who every year work with a different artist in residence to create art. And I was asked to come along and work with them a few years ago.
Wait, so you weren't living there anymore?
No, I regularly go home because my family are there, but I wasn't living there. No, I was back in Australia, but I came back to Westport, my hometown in Ireland, the west of Ireland, to work with this great bunch of people who, some are severely disabled, some are less so, but they're all really vibrant, interesting people, and I was asked to work with them to create a musical project. So we basically went about recording vocals, drumming things, using drum machines, going down to the docks and hitting the side of a wooden boat.
Oh, wow.
Just like a whole bunch of stuff, and then went into a local studio, and kind of, recorded more vocals and put things together, and then, I started to build up tracks with them, with their input. And some people's input was just literally nodding their head, and other people had more of a say about it.
That's most ravers' input.
Yeah, ravers' input, yeah. And I felt that we were on the right track. And so we then ended up releasing a collection of 4 tracks on an exclusive CD with hand-printed covers done by them.
Oh, wow. So it's like a holistic experience from creation to release.
Yeah, exactly. And we also then, through the label Awesome Soundwave, released the digital EP, which came out as
Which
Pick
people
Up the Phone.
can purchase right here.
Oh, it's on...
there it is. Can't you see it?
It's that
You should get your glasses checked. It's right there. It's that floating text in front of you.
I thought that was the pizza number. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, it was a really special and amazing experience, and I think that they had a great time as well. And we went to the local pub and launched the EP together and played the music, and it was a 2-month kind of project.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing actually.
Have you kept in touch with any of them?
Yeah, I see people when I see the organisers when I go back to Westport, and of course that group of people, we call them the Upstarters.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's
Is that
Christopher
the
Coe
name?
and
Is
the
that the official
Upstarters.
name of the artist
So
release?
the project was called was an Upstart project. It was
Right.
it was a council funded project that they do every year to give these people an experience of doing art in normal life.
That's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, and we had a great time. I felt very privileged, actually. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Now,
Thank you.
Now, I have a little tune that I thought it's a bit of a DJ tool. I think you'll probably be familiar with this tune.
Okay.
It's called Church of Nonsense by Daniel Pepini.
I don't know it.
Oh, fantastic.
I don't know music.
But he knows audio, evidently. So what I thought we'd do is for this mix, I've really wanted to do this ever since I kind of first heard the tune. It's a DJ tool in that I don't think we ever need to fully mix your music out. I feel like this could be a nice accompaniment whilst you continue to play. If we can bring in Daniel Pepini, Church of Nonsense, whilst you continue to play. But I want you, because I don't think you need a kick drum. Let me control the kick drum for now. And I want you, as the artist that you are, to start introducing tracks based on what you hear, because it's quite an interesting tune like that. Really are making history today. Christopher Coe, Burger Plate. Is that my kick drum? We've got Chris on the left-hand side of the mixer and me on the right. You're hearing Chris over the top. This is 2 tracks simultaneously. Expertly directed by the legend, the producer, the performer, and the cunt, Christopher Coe. We're great, mate. Hey, Chris, I'd love to know about Mountains of Silence. An incredible original album from you, which I believe was the genesis of Awesome Soundwave as well.
Yes.
And it sounds to me that from my perspective, outside looking in, firstly, you had a fully integrated live, like a visual component of it when you were touring it.
Correct. Yes.
And secondly, you've also said before that the album, the soundscapes were directly inspired by the landscape of your homeland as well.
Yeah. In fact, the whole concept, Mountains of Silence, kind of is self-explanatory.
It's funny because I was about to ask if it was a concept record, but
yes, it's a concept record. I mean, I grew up listening to Pink Floyd and Genesis, so concept albums for me are still, I think, really important as artistic documents.
Super cool.
Yeah, and so I decided to go home. Actually, it started, I was out walking in the hills one day in the west of Ireland, and I was looking at the mountains in the distance and realised that that's a waveform.
Oh, wow.
Of course.
That is the nerdiest observation.
I know, but I was like, that's why I like techno.
That's like how some psychologists say, what do you see? And it's like, I see my parents fighting. You're like, I just see waveforms when I see
It's
mountains.
a waveform of mountains. And it was a really good EQ setting, actually, I thought, for your car stereo. Anyway, so...
Nice low-end frequencies.
Little bump at 50K and, anyway, I was really...
Just when it couldn't get any nerdier.
Yeah, I was impressed. But I also realised that emotionally that was my landscape, the west of Ireland. Beautiful, rugged, mountainous, raw, energetic, amazing fresh air. And I thought, this to me actually is really... if I could imagine a sound for this landscape, for me it would be atmospheric, rumbling techno, because that's what it feels like. And also, the way the light changes in the west of Ireland, you can the mountains move. They actually change position from day to day. And
excuse me?
Yeah, they move. And so
you're not speaking metaphorically, like moving mountains?
No, it's real. They move.
Like a seismic shift.
No, they change their position from day to day.
They're just like, hey, where do you want to go today, Fred?
No, they're the same, but they're also different. Every day it's different. So, you go out to the mountains one day, they're towering and gargantuan, and the next day, they're just sort of hills.
Wimpy.
A bit wimpy, and then the next day they're going to try and kill you. So I felt very connected to that landscape, and I wanted to go home, and I went home to climb the mountains and then make techno based on what I felt from being in that landscape. So hence Mountains of Silence, which was an attempt on my part to create the sound of that landscape. It wasn't anything technical or scientific. I didn't go out and record the radio waves of that landscape or...
Sheer inspiration.
I did record the sound of the wind and being out in the boat in Clew Bay and all that sort of stuff.
So you did. The very thing you said you didn't do, you did.
not the actual seismic movement of the mountains is what I meant.
Which I imagine is a very, very low frequency.
A very low frequency. I couldn't capture it on my little dictaphone.
What you about to say on your little dick, but we'll move on from that. You know what I think is so special about that, aside from obviously that it was such a momentous release, is that wave of inspiration. Forgive the pun. That moment of inspiration. Hi. That moment of inspiration effectively led to you not just creating the album, but then creating the label, which has taken you around the world.
I know, it was amazing actually. It's because of Carl too, because he was really inspired. We had lunch together and I was telling him about this concept. I've done this album, it's the mountains and it's all about the mountains and it's techno and it's going to be a live show and I've filmed the location and I've turned it into a visual experience. I want it to be a fully wraparound kind of immersive experience of being in the mountains, but it be juxtaposed in an industrial wasteland landscape.
Hence the visual component as well?
Yeah, and I collaborated with my friend Roy Gerritsen in Amsterdam and on the visual component, who's a genius. And Carl was like, that's great. And I said, it's not right for Intake. I just, but I'm excited because, no, we're going to start a label. Because we're going to put this out because it's amazing. It sounds amazing.
Oh, wow. And can there be a better affirmation in the world than when the King
I fell out of my chair. I did. I literally fell out of my chair.
He's still standing up.
Yeah. And then we started the label and Carl's like, and we're going to make it a live label because that's what you're doing. You're setting the benchmark.
So that was Carl's idea.
Carl's idea.
And you were the first release.
He's the genius, yeah. And so I was like, instead of just getting my record out, I ended up having to run a frickin' label.
Just before you put that one back down, there will be a number of people who actually either don't know who Carl is, or...
Carl Cox.
Okay, there you go. We've established that. Secondly, there'd be a number of people that don't understand your relationship with him. Oh, yeah. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Carl and I have been friends for a long time, but he's played my tracks over many years. We've collaborated on tracks in the years past, and we've been great friends for 20 years and toured together lots of gigs over the years, Big Day Out, etc. And we've always stayed in touch. And when I came back with this concept of the album, not only that, he said, "Well, come, let's look at this. I've got this property." And it's got this big old cooling shed on it for fruit. And I want to maybe make a studio. And, you make studios, because I used to make studios in Amsterdam. Maybe you could come along and have a look at that. And so we went and had a look. And we decided to build a studio there, which Carl wanted. And
where was it specifically?
It's down the peninsula.
Oh, it's at Carl's place?
Yeah, near Carl's place.
Amazing.
Yeah, and we decided that it would be a great place to make great music. I mean, that was the whole point. And at the same time, we started the label together. So, in effect, we went into business together 2017.
Wow.
And we started the studio, we started the label, we started doing a load of remixes for Carl. I worked with him as his co-producer and studio engineer, managed the studio. Really, it's his project studio. It's not a public studio as such. And I don't know why I'm looking at the camera. I should be looking at you.
I quite like that
I'm
you're
trying to
looking
connect with you out there, you, on the edges, all of you.
Again, that throwback. He's a total pro.
Yeah. But
that's wonderful.
No, but and then we turned it into a thing, and then of course the pandemic occurred, and we.
What was that?
It's like a thing where people get a disease.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I must have been sleeping. I missed,
you were probably
missed
sleeping.
That one. I didn't open the news that day.
I think you did this, and we were able to continue working because we were in the same location in the studio, and it was just us. So we ended up doing like 1 million live streams together and 1 million remixes.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, so actually the last few years of your life have actually been like productive because of COVID.
Yeah, and also it was inspiring for Carl because he decided that he wanted to go live as a live artist. So we developed his live show.
How wonderful.
At that time. And now we're playing all over the world. Thanks again to Uncle Carl for opening the big doors of the big festivals. 12,000 people. Need I say it again?
Well, need I say it again? It's been wonderful to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure. There's 2 minutes 55 left to go and I haven't done the peak bit.
Do you want to do the peak bit?
I don't know what it is.
Well, we're about to find out. This is the peak bit with Christopher Coe. Thank you so much, mate. Take it away. To paraphrase, he's saying out loud, I don't even know what I'm doing, but geez, aren't we loving it? Christopher Coe on Coburg Up Late. Hey, before we go, is there anything else to add? Anything to plug? Any shout-outs?
Yes, I love trees.
It's that simple, baby. I know that you're planning to be working on another album very soon.
This month.
Fantastic. You've also got a new release with Rory Marshall.
Yes, that's a great release. It's called The Business EP. It's out now. It's got some really good tunes on it. And, well, only two, but they're also both brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Callum. You're a legend.
Remember, whatever you do, may you do it with passion. And may we all truly endeavour to be kind to each other, the world around us, and ourselves. I've been DJ Be Kind to Other People with Chris Coe. Play nice.
Play nice. Was I meant to do that?
Perfect.
Thank you so much.